And we are live. It's been a while. Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't done a live show for so long, but today we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you a sales method to be able to sell anything to anybody, a sales method, a sales strategy that works in everything, whether it's sales on the phone, on cold calling, whether it's an email for email marketing, whether it's a website for everything. It just works for everything, presentations, everything, right? And we're going to talk about it. And just so you know, right now I'm at Estelle Dogs Park. I brought my pit bull puppy here to play and train and stuff like that. So if you hear any dogs in the background, if you see any dogs jumping up on the camera, if you see dogs anywhere, just know it's a doggy park. Maybe I'll show you around later on. There's a swimming pool over there. It's a private doggy park. There's also training involved and stuff like that. So it's a really cool place. But anyway, regardless, we are going to talk about this sales method to sell anything to anyone. And as I said before, doesn't matter what you're selling, where you're selling, what type of medium you're using, whether it's cold calling, whether it's email marketing, whether it's face-to-face sales, whether it's whatever. But real quick, if it's your first time here, comment down below where you're from and what you're drinking. I just had my coffee. I had a cappuccino. But tell me what you're drinking down below and tell me where you're tuning in from. I'd really love to know. We are in Greece right now. And yeah, so let's get straight to it. I know there's coronavirus going on. There's a lot of lockdowns going on. So a lot of people that are home. So it's a good time to like establish your sales skill, like upgrade your sales skills, like learn a few things, right? So the sales method I'm going to give you is very simple. It's a 5 P's system, okay? And what the 5 P's are is promise, project, picture, proof, pitch, in that order. Now, most people start with pitch, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, each one, and we're gonna slice it down so you can use it properly. Danielle from Australia down under. I love it there, man. Never been there though, but I know a lot of Australians. You're beautiful people. So let's start with the first one, and that's promise. Now, what you want to do when you start with promise is basically showing the other person what they're going to see, what they're going to get, what's in it for them. Too many times in sales presentation, we start about who we are, what we're giving, all that, even in public speaking. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to start with what's in it for them. People are selfish. People want to know what's in it for them. So in a video, for example, because I told you this method applies to everything. In a video, for example, this would be what I did in this video. I'm going to give you a sales method that's going to help you sell anything to everyone, right? That's the promise, okay? Or in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to show you a way how to make money online, no matter what you're selling, for example, right? So it doesn't matter. You can sell anything this way. So that's the promise, right? That's what they're going to see, what they anticipate. It's the attention grabber, the hook, if you will. Svunios, how are you, man? How are you? Glad you're here. So that's the promise from the promise, project, picture, proof, pitch, sales method system that can sell anything to anyone, yeah? So tell me what you're selling down below, by the way. Comment what you're selling so we can give some live examples to this down the road to this video, I mean, right? Tell me what you're selling. I'd really love to know. So that's promise. Now, the second thing, the second part of this method is project. And what project typically is projecting something, as in what they're gonna get at the end of the video, or what they're gonna get at the end of the presentation. Something, it might be a bonus, it might be a gift, it might be some information, something that will keep them watching till the end, right? For example, anybody that sees this video till the end of the video, I might give you a free gift, so stay tuned for that. Okay, and if I forget, just remind me, and I'll make sure it's done. Pottery, that's awesome. By the way, that's a very unique niche. I love it, and you have a very good name for that. Pottery is something I have done, but I wasn't very good at it, to be quite honest. Now, so that's project. That's what you are going to show him, right? Now, the third part, solar consulting. Oh, that is amazing industry, right? Right now is very relevant. We use solar in Greece a lot. I use it in my building, and it's very good. And it's just, the technology is going on and on. It's really cool. So That's my pit bull, by the way, right there. I don't know if you can see him. He just ran away from that little big dog. So, yeah, he's trying to get the attention of that bigger dog over there. He's like me. Now, so the third part of it, and this is the most important part of the sales method system, okay? And that is picture. And this is where even the professionals get it wrong. See, you have your promise, you have your project, you have your picture. Picture is making your client picture and feel your product. Let me explain exactly what I mean, okay? If you're selling satellite TVs, for example, satellite TV communications, so you can watch like documentaries, cartoons and stuff like that, or soccer games, right? Like Nova satellites. You're not selling sport games. You're not selling the soccer game. You're selling the fun you're having with your friend, the picture of you having fun with your friends, drinking beer, right? And having a blast. Now hold on, because this is key. If it's got cartoons, you're not selling the cartoons, you're selling the smile on the kids' faces that the parents see. Now keep attention here. You're not selling movies, you're selling after a long day of work, the wife and the husband sit together, the kids are asleep, the husband puts his arm around his wife, and they watch something on TV. It's not what's on TV that counts, it's the feeling you have at that point. So you're selling the picture. Does that make sense? If you go to a hardware store to buy a drill, you're not buying the drill. If you're selling drills, you're not selling drills. You know what you're selling? You're selling the hole in the wall. You're selling the hole in the wall for somebody to hang up, whether it's safety, a fire extinguisher, whether it's something to pass your time like a TV set, whether it's memories like pictures, feelings. You're selling the hole in the wall. So it's very important to have people picture what they're saying. Does that make sense? You sell the solution. Sunya says you sell the solution. You sell the solution, you sell the solution, but you sell the picture of the solution. You sell the safety. You sell the comfort. Don't forget that there are eight life factors, biological factors that people need. There's another 8 that makes them want to buy. The other 8 are secondary. The first 8 are the most important. For example, safety. Superiority, I know that's the thing, but believe me, sexual companionship, those things are the ones that sell. You have to marry your service, what you're selling, you have to marry it with the feeling of need. Does that make sense? And you have to make them picture. Let me give you one more example before we move on. If you have 3 types of salespeople, you have a salesperson, you have a closer, you have a master closer. Let's say they're gonna sell a bicycle, a mountain bike, right, with 18 gears, okay? The salesperson will sell the features. He will sell the bicycle with 18 gears. This bicycle has 18 gears, it goes Shimano brakes, whatever, right? The closer will sell the benefits, all right? The benefits are what? You can go uphill easier, you can change gear, you can go off-road. A master closer will sell the picture of you going uphill with your girlfriend, discovering new places without breaking a sweat, with ease, looking like a professional. Does that make sense? That is the picture, and that's what typically people get wrong. Now I'm going to go on with the rest of the system, with the rest of the method. Then I'm going to tell you where it implies and give you some examples, right? So far we have promise, project, picture. Okay, now we have proof. That's the 4th part, is proof. And what proof is being social proof. Who are you? That's where you would typically put your testimonials, people that have worked with you, right? People that's where you prove your before and after case studies. Does that make sense? Because proof is extremely important. That's your credibility factor. Finally, after your proof, after your promise, project, picture, then proof, finally, you have your pitch. And that's your closing and your call to action. Most people start with a pitch. Most people start with what they're selling, who they are. No, It's promise, project, proof, picture, proof, pitch. Movies use the same system, right? Ads on TV. If you think about what I was telling you before about the picturing, Coca-Cola does it, Amstel does it, right? Movies do it, right? They always start with a teaser, the hook, right? Then they give you the project what's going to happen at the end. They give you that thing. Then they make you picture being in it, right? And so forth. So this is the same. If you're on stage, it's the same thing. If you're on TED Talks, they do this. The good people on TED Talks use this system, right? So let's say, for example, you have a landing page, a website. You start with your promise, what you're giving. It has to be clear what you are doing, what you are giving, what's the benefit, what's in it for them, right? Project so they can scroll down, why they should listen, why they should find out, give them a benefit or something, yes? Then you have the picture. You describe your product and you describe it in a way that it makes them picture them using it and feeling good, yes? It's my puppy. And feeling good, right? Then you have your proof, your social proof. What is it? This is typically, if it's a cryptocurrency company, would be your advisors, for example. This is where you put your advisors. If it's a normal website or you're selling something, this is where you put your testimonials, people using your product, right? And then you have your pitch. What's your pitch? Your close, your call to action, buy my shit, right? I just said shit because I just almost stepped in some. So that is, in an email, it's the same thing. Promise. Why you should open this email, what you're gonna get if you open this email, right? Project, make sure you listen to this email because you're gonna get this, this, and this. Picture using your project, right? Proof. We have so many testimonials, we have so many people who have this, we have that, right? And then it's your call to action, your pitch. Let me show you something. This is Dia. Dia, come say hi. This is my 7-month pit bull puppy. I love him to bits. He's everything to me. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Dia, run. Right? This is my puppy right here. So I was really sad. I was kind of depressed, and we can talk about that because I'm a very positive person. But I got depressed because I've been through a lot, right? For those of you that don't know, I went through cancer 4 years ago. I survived it. Then I came back to Greece from Poland and found my house burnt down. My mother had cancer, my sister had cancer. My sister died, then my mother died. My dad had heart problems, liver problems. I'm taking care of my father right now. And all that made me depressed. Like after my mother died, that was kind of the last straw. Even though I'm a positive person, an outgoing person, I keep on trying, right? I keep on getting up, I keep on persevering, I keep on winning. Now, I was depressed and that dog just pinned my dog down. Wait, let me go save him real quick. Give me a second. Look at this. Yeah? Oh, they're just playing. So anyway, so I was depressed and I got a puppy. And this puppy changed my life. I'm not even joking. I didn't even see him when I bought him. I ordered him. I bought him off somebody, and I didn't even see him. He was in another state, well, not state, other part of Greece. He's in Thessaloniki. I'm in Athens, 6 hours away. He told me this dog is a really good dog. He's bigger than the rest of them. Get him. I'm like, okay. So I bought him. I sent him the money, and I brought him down with a taxi. And I got him the first day. They brought it to me. They gave it to me. Peed on me. But he changed my life, right? He changed my life because I'll tell you this. I wasn't smiling or laughing that much. I was pretending to smile and laugh because I knew I had to go through the motions. But as soon as I got that puppy, it changed everything. I smiled more. I laughed more. It gave me a purpose, someone to take care of, another person to take care of, obviously, to take care of my dad, take care of my girlfriend. But it also gave me I have to take care of my puppy. And it really changed my life. It was life-changing. If you guys are sad, get a puppy. And I know we left sales. We got off sales. But there is something called the puppy clothes, right? So you can still use the puppy clothes for sales. And anyway, maybe we can talk about that. Anyway, if you're just tuning in, tell me where you're from. I'd really love to know where you're from. Tell me if you have a puppy. Do you have a dog? I would love to know if you have a dog. I'm training him a lot, and I would love to know. You know, it's. I think once you get a dog, you get into this little club of dogs, especially if you have a pit bull, because now everyone has a pit bull. You know, you just feel like, you know, you're connected somehow. You share stories and stuff like that, which is sales. Sharing stories is sales. Don't forget, that selling is basically what? The biological need to tell and listen to stories. In the old days, people passed information like this. They would go around the fire and they would talk about stuff, and they would talk, and people would remember this would go passed down to generations. It's storytelling, yes? So it's very relevant and it's very important, right? Anyhow, let's go over this way because I just want to walk a little bit. I have one Maltese. Those are small, white, fluffy ones that run around and go crazy. I love those. My girlfriend loves those, right? My girlfriend just dies for those, right? You know what I like doing? I'll admit it, it's a bad thing, right? Are you ready? You ready? What I like doing? I like doing this to all dogs. You're not supposed to do it. It's really bad. But I do this to all dogs. I drive them nuts. If you leave me somewhere with a dog, you'll come back. I'll be on the floor with the dog rolling around. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, just as a reminder, just so we can get away from this sales method, we can talk about something else. We can talk about the puppy clothes. And the puppy clothes is an important clothes. It can really sell a lot. It's an actual clothes, right? And some people call it the puppy dog clothes. But the system is the 5 Ps: promise, project, picture, proof, pitch. Okay? Now, let's talk about the puppy clothes. What is the puppy clothes? Anybody that has a dog here knows this. You go to a pet shop. I'm going to show you this live. I'm going to show you the puppy clothes live. You go to a pet shop and you want to go buy a puppy, or you're thinking about buying a puppy, or you're just looking, you're browsing, thinking about getting a puppy one day in a few years. And you go to this pet shop and you see this puppy and he's looking at you. Now, he's looking at you and the person comes and he licks you and you think you've bonded, right? So the shopkeeper comes and says, hey, you're doing this puppy, starts talking to you about the puppy. And you're like, okay, I was just browsing, not thinking about getting a dog right now. But then the puppy is looking at you like this. Let me show you, okay? So the puppy's looking at you like this, okay? And you're thinking, holy crap, right? And what the shop owner will do is like, why don't you take it home with you today? Leave it with it, see how it does at the house, see how you get, no obligation to buy it or anything. Take it home for a couple of days, you can bring it back if you don't want it. You're not bringing that puppy back, ever. It's yours. You're gonna take it home, the wife's gonna fall in love with it, she's gonna divorce you, you're not gonna have sex for a month if you get rid of it. The kids are gonna love it, and there's no way, if the kids want something, it's it, you're closed, right? And they start promising you they're gonna take it for walks, they're gonna do everything, and you're not gonna do anything, and that's a lie, because you're gonna take them for walks, and you're gonna do it for everything, you're gonna pay for everything as well. But you've been closed. And this is used everywhere. It's used, for example, where do we have puppy clothes? Comment down below where you've seen the puppy clothes. I'll give you the first one, okay? I'll give you the first couple. Amazon. You buy something, you have 30 days to give it back, you have no obligation to keep it. You can literally say, I don't like it, and give it back, and they take it back, right? But you have 30 days. Most of the products don't go back, though. Does that make sense? Most of the things don't go back. A clothes store, you have you have 48 hours to give it back. You never give it back. Websites, yeah? 14-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. You're never gonna give it back. And if you do, you're one of these people that are not. And even if you do give it back, you probably talk about it or even suggest it to somebody else. It shows confidence, it shows guarantee. That's the puppy clothes. And you can use this puppy clothes in your sales no matter what you're selling, right? You can even use it when you're dating. Like, why don't you just go out with me? See what I'm like. You don't have to kiss me or anything. Just go out with me, right? And if you like me, we can continue. If not, it's okay. I'll never bother you again. And you know you're lying. You know you're lying. But that's a puppy clothes, right? And it's a very effective close in sales. So I promised you something very important at the end of the video, by the way. But comment down below if you ever used the puppy clothes, seen the puppy clothes, or something like it. I would really love to know. Comment right now in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, do it in the comments. If you're watching now, do it in the chat. All right? If you've used the puppy clothes. Now, let's talk. I know if you're just joining, we just talked about the 5 Ps, right? The sales method to sell anybody to anybody. I do recommend you watch this on replay. But we're now going to go on to the ultimate close that can close any deal. There's one close in the world, and this is a close that fits all. You can close anything. Any objection you have, you can close it with this close. I promised something in the beginning, right? Svunius has used it for Svunius pottery. I'm going to check out your channel, man. I want to see what this pottery is about, right? So let's talk about this one clause, okay? There's one clause to close any objection. It's called the goodnight kiss, okay? All right, it's called the goodnight kiss. And the goodnight kiss is this. Imagine you're a teenager, and imagine you go pick up a girl to take her out, all right? Now we have two different people that are gonna take this girl out. The first one rolls up, right? Stops the car, gets out, knocks on the doorbell, it's early, meets the parents, yeah? You see the girl walking down the stairs, beautiful dress and everything, compliments her. He's looking good, he's wearing his aftershave, he's smelling good. The parents tell him, his dad tells him, make sure you bring her back at 11. He politely says yes, takes the girl, takes her to the car, opens the door for her, right? Goes around, goes inside, takes her to a nice restaurant. They eat a nice meal. He asks her about her. He starts asking questions. What do you like? This and that. They're having a good time. After the restaurant, they have dessert and they walk. They walk down the beach. You know, there's people walking around. It's romantic. There's the moonlight is shimmering in the sea. Shimmering in the sea, right? And they get some ice cream, whatever. They start holding hands. 10 o'clock. He takes her to the house at the porch, goes to the door, and right before there, he's about to kiss the girl. Hold up now. Wait, we'll come back to this. The second example, somebody comes down with loud car, loud music, right? Gets out the door of his car, goes to the door, hits the door about 10 times. Dad opens the door, he's like, what's up? Come to say your daughter, man, right? Daughter comes down, whatever, he's like, come on, girl. Dad's like, bring her back at 10 or 11. He's like, yeah. Takes her to the car, doesn't open the door for her. Fuck that. He gets in the car, drives her to McDonald's, feeds her burgers, goes to a bar with rowdy friends, all while trying to get next to her and feel her up and everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. They then, at the end of the night, they go home. He's late. He's late to take her home, right? So it's like 12, 1 o'clock, and he's at the porch, and he wants to kiss her. What do you think that girl's gonna do? If the girl doesn't slap him, the father will for bringing him back late. Now, that's not how you do sales. Now, the first example, all he has to do is lean in and wait, and the magic will happen. There's no close. There's no closing that. You don't need to say anything. If you've done and you played your cards right, she's closed. It's done. It's a done deal, right? So what is the goodnight kiss close? You have to understand that it's not about closing. Closing's help. Closing is supposed to be so he can the client can think about it and make him get him a decision there and then to help him get what's value. Closing is everything. It's before you meet the client, the way you're dressed. It's your psychology, right? You're looking in the mirror. You know, today I'm positive I'm going to get a deal. It's about going to your client and giving them this proper handshake, a proper handshake. If you don't know how to do a handshake, I'll leave a link down after this video tonight. I'll leave a link to how you're supposed to do a handshake, right? You do the proper handshake. You talk to your client nicely, right? You solve his problems. That is sales. Sales is literally taking a girl on a date or a guy and doing everything right. If you don't do everything right, no close in the world is going to save you. That's the goodnight kiss close. That's in the Closers Part 3 and Part 2 by Ben Gay III and myself. And I'll leave that in the link down below as well, right? Do you have any questions? Does anybody have any questions up to now about closing, about sales, about any of this, about the 5 Ps, about the goodnight kiss, about my puppy? Does anybody have any questions? You have a question. Sfunios Pottery has a question. Please, tell me your question. I'd love to know. Let me go sit down here. Sfunios Pottery, what's your question, man? While we're waiting for this question, that's my. He's doing the puppy clothes to other dogs. He's trying to sell them something. He's trying to sell them some bones. Okay. Is there any good way to ask for a review after a sale? Yes, there is. All right, look. And the way you ask for, I'm so glad you asked this question. This is an excellent question. Not many people ask Ask for this. Ask these questions. Okay. The way you ask for a review after a sales pitch or a sales presentation is the same exact way you ask for referrals. How not to spam and all that. I saw it. Okay, let me reply this. When you ask for referrals, there's wrong ways and there's right ways and there's fantastic ways. The wrong way is to say, do you know anybody that wants my product? Yeah? Maybe yes, maybe no. The guy doesn't really want to answer. What's in it for him? Right? The second way is, hey, real quick, who do you know that could also benefit from this product? Now that's a much better way. You will get it's a lot more effective. Who do you know that could also use this product? Because it makes them think, right? Now the third way, and it's the best way, is to say, hey, real quick, think of 2 names that would also benefit from this product. Now, as soon as you say think of 2 names, the brain associates it. It just thinks, I'm not going to get into it right now, but it thinks of these persons' names and it puts the picture to that name. Oh, I know John and Mary, right? John and Mary, great. Could you please give me, could you please give him their phone number? Because you effectively helped his brain remember about 2 people that can also benefit. Does that make sense? So you always do that. Plus, it's a little bit of an alternative close. So that's the way you ask for referrals. You should do the same thing with reviews, right? So, hey, real quick. So at the presentation, you can say, hey, if you like my product, could you please give me some feedback and a review on what you liked and what you didn't like? Now, that is one way, but better than that is to make sure you can, you get the right answer. You get the answer you want. So for me, that's the way I would ask, though. I would ask, hey, what did you like about product? Did you like a product? Yes. Hey, do you mind giving us a review? Giving us a review? I would really, really appreciate it. You know what I mean? And then give them something. Maybe you can give them a free product or a free lesson or a free something. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the way you would do it. Otherwise, spamming, it's not spamming. You can ask. People would be more than happy to share their honest opinion on something, especially if they're rewarded for it. Hey, we aim to be the best pottery thing in the whole world, right? We are striving for this success. We want to make sure you're happy. Please tell us what you liked about our product and what you didn't like about our product. They will answer that, right? Then you ask them for a review, right? And that's how you get reviews, basically. That's how I would do it. You don't have to overthink and overcomplicate sales. You just have to have motion. And that it's pretty interesting. If you have motion, things will come out. Have you ever been laser sharp focused on something so much? You're like sitting there and you're laser sharp focused and shit just comes out. It just comes out. Whether it's closes, whether it's benefits, whether it's whatever, whether it's philosophy, it just comes out on its own. That's because you're in the zone. Once you get into the zone with sales, once you learn the puppy close, once you learn, the sales method, the 5 Ps, once you learn the goodnight kiss, and you're doing this and you're doing this and you're doing this, stuff just comes out. Stuff just comes out, and you basically, you just do it on autopilot, and you don't realize, like, oh my God, how did I just do this? Do you know what I mean? So that's the key. So that is motion. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit winded. Not sure if you want to see this park. I think my dog's trying to get into that pool over there. Maybe not. Anyway, let me show you these puppies real quick and I'm about to go. So remember the 5 Ps, promise, project, picture, proof, pitch. I strongly advise you to go watch this video from the beginning if you haven't seen it already. You got the goodnight kiss close, which can close any objection in the world, and you have the puppy close, which will effectively get you any deal. Thank you. Please subscribe if you like this video. I'm doing short videos, I'm doing longer videos with value, and I'll be doing live streams. I love you all. Thank you. Goodbye. Take care. Good night.